All right. It's Wellness Wednesday is kind of what I'm going for, because on Thursdays we were doing things that were making us feel better, but I feel like why not put it in the middle of the week, like kind of like a speed bump. Anyways, so this week is going to be focused more on our hips and working on some stuff for that. Nothing should feel really bad. It should all just be really good accessory work, the ability to breathe, and kind of work on fine-tuning our bodies a little bit without like stressing and being like overworked or overwhelmed. So we're just going to take it slow today. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to spend 5 full minutes on front scales, and then we're going to spend 5 full minutes on back scales. So front scales. So front scales are really, you're just standing and working on lifting your leg and bringing it back down with control. So we want to play around with, you know, lifting it higher and higher, but at the same time, it's most important that I'm just staying in control and looking to like connect the dots in my body as I'm balancing. So you're going to spend 5 full minutes just practicing those. And you can play around with just like maybe marching through some lifts, maybe playing with some holds, trying to breathe through. It seems like a lot of time, but it's actually not that much. So we'll start with that. It'll be a nice, easy way to kind of get moving too. So we don't want, you're obviously not going to be holding your leg up for 5 minutes. We're just playing around with them for 5 minutes. So we can get started. So the clock's on, and just get started whenever you feel comfortable. Again, we're looking to find just a good connection to the floor and playing around with just picking up that front foot. Try to not let it affect the rest of your body. It's all about slow control and kind of feeling the differences side to side. It's a chance to connect in that standing leg, to connect the upper and lower bodies. There you go. Try to keep that support leg straight with that knee locked out. Good. You're gonna play around with your breath. Maybe it's inhaling up and exhaling down, and then you reverse it, or try to just make sure you keep your breath flowing. It should get into those quads and hip flexors. You can also play around with pointing your foot versus flexing your foot. When you point your foot, you're going to activate your quad a little bit more naturally. Man, KB, those hamstrings.
They're so tight.
Yes, I can see exactly where your range of motion, it's like pulls you into that kink. Try to press into those straight legs. So try to see how far you can go without bending your knees at all, KB. Like just keeping things rigid and locked out. There you go. That's pretty far. Fight to keep the knees locked out. There you go. Those look good. Keep those knees locked out like that. Maybe it's not the hamstrings. Maybe it's like the low back, the hip. You think it's the hips?
I feel it here too.
Well, yeah, you're using those to raise it up.
Yeah, it like pinches when I'm like.
Yeah. Try to like think of really forcefully breathing through that. But this is like if we were sitting down, we'd be trying to like feel it go into that inner thigh and groin rather than out to the low back and the glute. 45 seconds left to just play around with the fronts. Try to think about smooth and slow, slow and smooth, and just kind of keep moving smoothly. All right, 3, 2, 1. So you may want to take a couple hip circles with nice wide stance, just to kind of press into those hip flexors a little bit. But after that, we're going to get into 5 minutes of our back scales. And those are the type where the same thing, we're trying to keep that support leg locked out, but we're hinging forward. We want to keep our heel to shoulder straight on the leg that's extending up. So I'm looking for support. My arms could be by my side or maybe out by the side. If this is where I can go with balance, then I want to come back. It's not really about, oh, wow, look at me, because then I can't control myself back. So you're just going to kind of play around with hinging and like finding your gas pedal being your foot. So pressing into your toes, you're going to light your hamstrings up. All right. So we'll just spend 5 minutes here. Again, really work on breathing in it and trying to find your breath through the movement. Try not to arch, Megan. As you lift your foot, you have to hinge. So straight line from your right shoulder to your right heel. There you go. Just little movements, looking for control. So you're really only hinging on the leg you're posting. Good. Don't go too far. Just come back with control. You want to work on keeping your hips square to the ground. Like you're a lever. Nice job. Good, KB. Fighting to keep the hips square. It might even just be a simple lift off the ground. There, good, Megan. Going straight forward. Helps a lot to really just think about the shift before you move. Try to get all your weight pressing into one side. Yeah, Megan, that was your best one on that side.
It's so weird. I struggle so much more with this side.
Yeah. You can
And I don't
see.
know if this used to be my cheering leg.
Okay, yep. Like where you like
This-
post it up or whatever, you would jump from and kind of
Yeah,
like,
whenever we did this.
it'd be like your lead leg. Oh yeah, you like want to open up and like pose.
Yeah. So it's like it's been 10 years, but
Yeah.
it's,
But it's still the stronger, all that repetition, stronger base, I guess. Got more memory.
yeah.
Awesome, KB. Yeah, once you guys get really comfortable with these, the next level is turning it from just a hinge to, it's called an airplane, where you're like hinging over and opening up and coming back down. But if you keep it if you keep it low and in control, it's doable. I just, yeah. I ain't there yet. Ooh, don't go too far. So we've got about 40 seconds left. Maybe just a couple more good reps. Try to just think about breathing. You get like 2 full breaths or 3 full breaths per side. Ooh, KB, that one was in control.
I didn't open up as much.
As much, is that what you said?
Right.
But you were in control, so you could come back. So that was kind of cool. So you could try this side smaller. Yeah, this side doesn't even want to turn though. I love the concentration look. All right, so today, that's 5 minutes. And hopefully, if nothing else, you've kind of really brought some blood flow to your hips. And now we're a little bit more connected to our bodies and our breath. So what we're gonna do today is gonna be 4 rounds for quality. I'm gonna like walk through the first round with you guys. And then after that, you guys will do 3 rounds, kind of just like on your own. I'm gonna move my computer as well. So it's all about the hips today. We're gonna be kind of like giving them some work in hopes of resetting them a little bit. So we're gonna do some hip flexor floor drills. So if you want to write this down, we can go over it, and then I can explain it as we go. So our hip flexor floor drills, we're going to do 5 right, 5 left, 5 center. So you can write that down, and we'll go over that. And then you're going to do a 20-second hold, but that's going to be 10 seconds right and 10 seconds left. After you get through your hip flexor stuff, you're going to do a 30-second Superman hold. And that's really just because your hip flexors are going to be on fire. So we're going to turn over onto our stomachs and squeeze our back sides real hard so that we can kind of give the relief to our front sides a little bit. And then we're going to do 10 reps on each side in a Captain Morgan's plank. We'll go over that. And then we're going to do 5 crab pikes on each side. So that'll be 1 round. And like I said, I'm going to walk through the first round with you guys, and you'll have your notes to reference, but like I'll go over everything so that you can understand what they are. And then you'll just move through 3 more rounds. But all you'll need is like a mat for space or mat for your Supermans and stuff, and then something to move your foot around. And you might play with levels, but like yesterday I just used the foam roller on its end. So I'm talking about like it's on the ground like that. And all I'm doing is lifting my foot up and over that. So you could have as small as a ball, but you could use at different heights. It really doesn't matter. You just want like a target to move over. So the first thing we're doing is going to be those floor hip flexor drills. You're going to do 5 right, 5 left, and 5 center. So for your right and your left, you want to be in a big like straddle position. So you're just going to sit with a nice wide stance, and you're going to sit up tall. And then you'll take your target and just like for the right, I'm going to move it towards my, I'll go left first because you can see that one. I'm just going to move it towards my left foot, but I'm also going to take my hands and like, you know, surround my left foot. I'm going to reach forward a little bit, and then I'm going to push into the floor, and I'm going to point my foot. It's going to be 1, 1, 2, 2. If that's too hard to kind of reach forward and do that, I could end up being here and using that lean back a little bit, but we really would like to be forward if you can. So you get 5 on your one side, and then you move it over. Make sure you're still in your straddle, and you go 5 on that side. Then you put it in the center where both your feet are just centered. And if you can, again, you want to reach forward and press into the ground, and you're going to get 5 there. So let's just start with that. We'll go through the first round like that. Good, Kibby. So we want to, even though these are really hard, you just want to make them doable. So keep it little and keep it like fluid. We don't want it to be like the worst pain ever. However, these are muscles that are hard to work at. JM had a really hard time. If you really needed to, you could keep a little bend in your knees. There you go, Megan. It really does help to point your foot too. So Kiwi, you're gonna think about clapping your heels together. Whoop. Good.
Really gets my core. Is that?
Well, yeah, well, you're in a really big pike, right? So it's kind of like a toe to bar position or an L-sit. So most of our stuff today is really L-sit oriented, gonna be very helpful for L-sits. The problem, I thought of Paige after I programmed this, because I remember one day Paige being like doing some L-sit work, but her L-sit work was just practicing L-sits, and they weren't like that great. And I was like, what are you doing? She said she's practicing L-sits. I go, why are you doing them? She goes, I want to be good at L-sits. And I was like, well, we should be doing different drills to get good at L-sits, right? You shouldn't just assume I'm going to do this to get good at it. You can't do something and get good at, like sometimes you can, but like L-sits are not something that you start with the capability of doing. So you can't get good at doing something that you can't do, right? So you have to do the drills so that you can then do it and have real connection and understanding of what it feels like. Like those are hard. So now we're going to go into our hold, and I can time that. We're just going to do 10 seconds right, 10 seconds left. I was going to give the options of, you know, you could do 20 seconds total, but most people that reach for that can't do it. So for this, you're going to be feet forward, and if you can, you're going to pike forward, dig your hands in. You're going to point your toes, and you're just going to bring one foot, the knee as close to your nose as you can, and you're going to hold, and you're going to squeeze. And you're going to stay there for 10 seconds and breathe, and then you'll drop it down and do the other side. All right, so if you want to get started, I got a clock for you. Otherwise, you can just time it yourself. But 2, 1, hold. Good, Megan. Just have to keep that heel off the ground. 2, 1, time. So, and then you'll do 10 seconds on the other side. Whenever you're ready.
I already did.
Nope. Okay, 5. Nice job, Megan. Keep pressing, squeezing, compressing. Time. Yeah, they're hard. So you really want to just kind of think knees to nose. You're really just trying to compress everything. Now you're going to do a 30-second Superman hold. So go ahead and just lay down long. I'll time you guys on this one. Arms overhead. Think about length. 3, 2, 1, and go. Squeezing your glutes. You can't squeeze them anymore. Try to, if you're comfortable here, think about bringing your heels together. Squeeze your heels together. Tuck your tailbone under. Keep breathing into it. 3, 2, 1, that's time. All right, so that's just really to light your back side up, kind of turn off your front side a little bit. And the next thing we're gonna do is our Captain Morgan's planks. So these are gonna be side planks, but they're on your elbows, so they'll give your wrists a little break today. And what they are, because we're gonna do them for reps, not for time, you're gonna do 10 on each side. So it's in your elbow plank, and you're gonna give yourself that heel to toe base with your feet. So your feet are set up like this no matter what. And then you're gonna press your side up. So Captain Morgan position, what we're gonna look to do is come to this position. You're bringing your knee up. Then you're gonna bring your foot right back. Then you're gonna bring your other knee up. That would be 2. This would be 3, 4, 5, 6. So we're gonna get 10 on each side. Really big oblique work, but also getting the insides of your hips, maybe little reset. So pressing into straight legs, we want to press into your feet. And just pick the knee up and really press into the floor to pick the other knee up. Is that one not working there, Megan? Pressing into that?
Not the, I can only do the front leg.
Just
the back
on the front then. And then when you turn over, your other leg will be on the front. There you go. Good. Think about breathing. Try to go with your breath and not rush it. Inhale, bring the knee in, and then exhale back. You all right, KB?
Yeah, how many?
10 total on each side. Yeah. Just 10 marches. Good. Think about that Captain Morgan's position. Good. That's good, Megan. Keep your chest up. You're just moving your knee up. So once you get 10 on one side, flip it over, get 10 on your other side. And you can play around with your feet eventually, KB. You might find better ways of transferring them back and forth and kind of getting more comfortable with it. Eventually, I kind of almost was going centered, but it was weird at first to kind of start with your feet there. So those can be really good for the hips on the inside and the outside, just because you're really pressing into those adductors to hold yourself up, but you're also getting huge oblique work just by being in that side plank. Again, work on breathing, making sure it feels comfortable, backing it off if you need to. So crab pikes were like my new favorite thing that I found yesterday. And I'm all about right now, like the idea of opening up the chest, right? Like in that reverse plank that we did. And this will be helpful in that as well. So what we're gonna do is a crab pike is, you wanna set yourself up in a way that you can get in a crab position. So your hands are under your shoulders, fingers face back, feet are under your knees, fingers face, or toes face forward. And eventually you want to get here. So I'm going to walk out a little because I was a little wide. So it's like a big tabletop position. From there, a crab pike, what we're going to do is I'm going to do 5 right, 5 left. So I'm extending one leg out, and I'm just going to push myself into that crab position. But I also want to think knees to nose. So I'm going to keep my head kind of tucked as I do that, and then come back down. If I want to take this up a notch, so like you're just going from here to here. If I want to take this up a notch, I'm going to press into my support a little bit more and practice going a little bit farther back. So this is going to be very L-city. But here I still get that pike compression. I'm going to stay up and press into my support and then come back. Okay, so it's press and up, or just come down and up. All right, so 5 right, 5 left. We'll be opening up the shoulders with the hands back like that. And you'll be getting your glutes fired up with the bridge. Whew. So maybe it's just pressing into the crab. So start with your leg down and press to the crab. So point your foot up, Megan. There you go. And then just press up to crab. And just switch sides after 5. Was that your easier side? Is it the other one that was harder?
Those are both hard.
Oh, okay. And then again on those, Megan, you could do just 10 big crab presses if you wanted to keep both feet down and just open up into the big table position.
Okay.
So KB, try to press back into that support if you can. So think about bringing your butt under your hips. When you come back. When you come back.
Oh, like this?
Yeah, like staying in your support. All right, so that's a round through. Now you guys can start in your second round. We're gonna start, and you'll just go through the leg lifts on either side. 5 right, 5 left.
I give you the timer.
Whew, I'm warm. Hey, Aspen. Are you gonna do some gymnastics with your mom? Because that's what we're doing today. Maybe. Well, you can see if you want to try the things. So again, on these, try to breathe. As much as they make you kind of seize up and tense up, you want to try to breathe through it. And I've got a really great stretch for our hips after, so we'll give it some love in that direction as well.
It's gonna feel so good.
Oh yes.
I went running not yesterday, day before yesterday. I can feel it.
Everywhere.
It's only like 1.5 miles, but I can feel it.
Only? That's a lot, Megan. Yeah, JM has been having some hip problems, and I asked him if he wanted to work out yesterday. He's like, no. And I was like, well, all we're doing is like stuff that would be really good for your hip. So after that, it's the 10-second hold either side.
I forget what that looks like.
Oh, the pike hold. So you're seated in the pike.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
10 seconds. Just try to compress and breathe. Good. And you can not worry so much about time. Don't, just worry about breath. So maybe you just take 4 deep, long breaths on each side. We just want some time there. Good, Megan. And then when you switch sides, same thing. Keep breathing. Try to breathe through the compression. Good. On that Superman hold, it's really about tucking the tailbone under and finding a nice solid line. So we want 30 seconds, but again, just work on your breathing. So maybe it's just 10 nice long breaths. That might even be longer than 30. Try to tuck the chin, KB. There you go. Think about reaching length through the top of your head. Again, try to squeeze the heels together, KB. Squeeze tight, tight, tight. Tuck everything in. All right. Nice job, guys. And the Captain Morgan plank marches. Good, hips are high. What's that? Before, because I'm in a class, but somebody was just, they pulled in. That was weird. I should have looked earlier.
I just came to check it out.
I should have looked
Are you
earlier.
still fishing?
Yeah. Hi, guys. Good. So you're just looking for the crab at the top and then press back. Try to bring your hips underneath you, KB. Lean forward. There you go. Good. Woo! Oh, man. Yesterday's workout got me like, because I did this yesterday and then tomorrow's yesterday.
Wow.
I was like, I have to get ahead. I need a rest day. There you go. Are these hard at all, Megan? You feel them in your hips?
Yeah, I feel them.
Good.
They're definitely not as hard as like the Captain Morgan thing.
Okay, good.
Something just popped and it felt good.
Good. We'd like to get some of those good pops.
Yeah.
There you go. Compress and squeeze. Point and squeeze. Breathe. Reach. Oh, yeah, KB. Woo, 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 woo. Her foot was just like, all right, Superman. Try to really just look for that tension. Breathing into it, fill your lungs, fill your tummy with your breath. Want to try to press into it as much as possible. Good. Chin tuck, KB. Nice job.
Oh my God.
There you go. Little licky poo while you're there. Oh, are you trying to pet me?
Wherever you can get it. Oh my God. Oh my God.
They think we want to play. And what does she have? Annie, what do you have?
A big thing of popcorn.
Oh,
What?
I thought it was like the dog's water dish, and I was like, oh, this is gonna be a disaster. Popcorn, all right. So Megan, when you go to get in this, try to lay with both legs long first. Right now, like lay like a mermaid a little bit. Extend your legs out, and then bend your bottom one first. Nope, lay down. Just like hips up, just to get into it with your knee. So you want to start with both your knees long or both your legs long, and then bend your knee. So that when you're pressing up, you're really pressing up from the side of your knee. And sometimes I see you get here like this, and then you've got this angle. So
Oh, yeah.
press up there like that. So you're going to use your foot too. Yeah, that's it. Good. So then you're in a straighter line. And that way you're pressing into the side of your hip. I don't know if that felt any different, but
Felt like felt better.
good. Yeah, we want to just be in that straight line. So if you start there and then bend the knee, then you're going to press up from that straight line. All right, crab it up. Try to really squeeze for the top and open the chest. There you go. Helps to have the hands facing the right direction. Good. Inhale up, exhale down. There you go. Think knee to nose, KB, up there.
Oh.
All right. Just one more round. Tomorrow we're going to be doing some deadlifts if you're around.
Oh.
Deadlifts, lateral jumps, and Russian twists.
I miss holding on to a barbell.
I'm glad you do. It's a nice thing to miss. Most people miss their bars and their bottles in their hands. Did you have tacos yesterday, Megan?
Twice.
Oh, Cinco de Mayo and Taco Tuesday.
For lunch, I had, there's this place in South Paris that is like it's a taco place. So I had their tacos, and then I had taco salad from home for dinner.
I had hamburger in the freezer, and I took it out yesterday because I was like, oh, we can do hamburger. And then I was thinking, oh, we could do like tacos. It's Tuesday, but it was totally frozen still when we.
Yeah.
So we're gonna do that today.
Coach, you want to come today?
No, I have another meeting after this.
Yeah.
So I have a meeting after this with my first new client since this all started.
Ooh.
I'm doing one-on-ones with this woman. I mean, I gave her an absurdly ridiculous rate. I'm kind of angry with myself, but it's really more of a learning thing for me because it's one-on-ones via Zoom. And she's over 300 pounds and 56 years old and like extremely out of shape. So I'm like super excited.
Hope she sticks with it.
I know. And I thought, well, this might be perfect for you because it's a way to kind of get moving a little bit before you ever walk into the gym. You know, like people are always like, oh, I got to get in shape before I come. And it's like, well, you can't really do that. But now you can kind of do that because I'll help you. So we'll see.
That's great. I'm glad she's doing something so many people.
I know, how scary. So I'm excited for her. I'm really hopeful that she'll stick with it, but I don't want to get my hopes up too much, you know. I get very excited for people like this. Plus, I've been looking, like I've been saying, I want like I want to make a real difference. Like, that's what we need to do more of, is like get more. She's got diabetes, you know, like we need to, those are the people that need to get in. Ooh, it just doesn't feel good on that side, huh, Megan? Oh, there you go. Make sure you're bracing and breathing. We want to squeeze those heels together. Tuck the tailbone under.
I don't know why, like, the crab thing is so hard. It always has been.
Well, it's not an easy position to be in. It's certainly, what's that, KB?
It's hard for me to get my hips up as well.
Yeah, it's an easy position to be in because we're asking you to open your hips and use your glutes, which is hard, but also to be in a really weird position with your shoulders. It's foreign. We're all kind of used to the top of a plank, but our shoulders going the opposite way is weird. Where do you feel it's the biggest challenge, Megan? In your lower or your upper body, or your mid?
I feel like it's just like forcing my body, like it's just so tight.
Yeah, and that's what
So
you
it's
have
like,
to do. You have to force it and force it and force it. You're getting up there, though.
like crab walks. I can never do those. Everyone seems like they do them so easy.
Oh, I don't think they're easy for anybody, but also it's like, if it's hard for you to be in that position, why would, you know, then move in that position.
Yeah.
So like, you got to just get comfortable in that position.
I feel the same way, Megan. Like, they're hard to, like, even this, I can't get my hips really.
Yeah, like you want to, there you go.
But it's like,
But then if that's hard work for you, then to maintain that while you move is just not going to like stay perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna walk through this really great hip stretch after, oh, I want to wait for KB, sorry. Stretch. But our hip stretch is a really good one. It's just kind of one of those ones that we need to kind of be a little finicky about how we do it so that we don't miss the point. But it's very much like our Samson stretch where we just are kneeling and reaching towards the ground or to the ceiling. I posted a video of this. I was like, looks like I have a penis. You thrust your hips up, you're like, giant penis.
Giant penis. And me, you want to work out?
Oh, look at the little mittens.
And my murder mittens.
Cutest.
My little toe beans.
Oh my God. And she got her face mask on. So the stretch we're gonna do is, like I said, it's very similar to the Samson stretch where, I guess you can see me, where you're looking for this position. But really important, just like in the Samson stretch, is to tuck that tailbone under. So we don't want to be here and then sink into it. We want to be here and kind of press into it a little bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tuck my tailbone under, and I'll just be in the regular stance. And then I'm just going to kind of lean a little forward, tracking my knee over my toe. But I'm really fighting to keep that tailbone under. I don't want to go here where we're just arching into it. I want to tuck and press. And then once I do that, I'm going to come back to neutral, keep that tailbone tucked, and I'm going to walk my foot out a little bit. So now my toe is facing a little bit of a different direction. Keeping that tailbone tucked, I'm still going to press leaning over my toe. And then I'm gonna come back to neutral. I'm gonna walk it out a little, keep my tailbone tucked, and then just press a little, leaning over. So it's kind of like you're making a clock with your knee, and you're trying to press into it every hour or so, you know, like, so see how that feels for you, even if it's just the front one. Good, keeping the tailbone tucked, you're just gonna press into it. So pressing the knee over the toe. Good, Megan. And it might not be a big movement, but if you feel the stretch big time in that hip, that's good. And then you'll come back to neutral, keep your foot right where it is, and then just walk it out to the side. But you're gonna keep that tailbone tucked, and you're gonna keep your knee tracking right over your toe. So you're pushing out at a bit of a different angle now in that same hip. Yep, right there in that.
Should it be like the opposite side?
Yep, it should be the one that's down, that you're really feeling the stretch in. And then you just come back and again, move your foot. And that way you're just pushing into a different angle of your hips, but keeping it really solid with the connection of that tailbone tuck. And you really should feel like you're in control of the angles here, and you can kind of play with things. Obviously, the more mobile you are, the wider you'd be able to go. If you had crazy great mobile hips with a really great squat therapy, you'd be able to do it with essentially your knee really, really out fully to the side and just press into it. But it depends on our range of motion and where our hips are tightest. So this might be a good way for you to kind of figure out exactly that too. So how'd you feel about that? Productive? Yeah. What I liked is that I felt like I was like, oh, there, I'm getting that spot. Oh, I'm getting that spot. And it like, it felt like it was moving every time, but it was very similar every time. Like nothing was changing other than exactly the spot. So really just keeping the tailbone tucked and pressing in. Try to lean, toe stays tracking, or knee stays tracking over the toe. So you're just pressing over that foot. And you can you could always hinge forward and back a couple times on each, you know, like maybe you press into it a couple times, especially where it feels the best. You kind of move with your breath.
Oh, this one's the best.
The side.
Oh, so it's getting like both.
Yeah. Try to just, fight to keep your hips square and press into it. What was I gonna say? This is kind of like, I picture like Elizabeth or Amanda, the people who can like do squat therapies with their feet or their legs flat on the wall like a frog. Like, I'm like, oh, they'll be able to do this, no problem. But this is where I'm like, oh, that's what I want to be like.
Yeah.
This will help my frog stretch. There you go, KB. Woo! You got some movement there.
I like it because it feels like it goes down the opposite, like really down deep, like to the bone. You know?
Yeah. It's like in your socket.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of like flossing.
Oh, yeah.
You know, like getting in your hip socket and like getting the crud out. What's on the agenda, KB, for you and the girls today?
It's schoolwork, but I have just a short meeting today, which is nice. And Aspen has a few meetings. It's just schoolwork, and then we try to just get outside. Like that's like let's get our stuff done.
Get the work done so we can go outside.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. It's nice that it's been pretty nice too.
Yeah. It's like chalk and bubbles and the swing and scooters and bikes, like life should be.
Yeah.
I love it.
All night.
What?
Then I have to stay up all night and lesson plan. It's like my days got flip-flopped, right? Like I would work at school, and I do a lot of work at night too, but now it's like I'm with them doing their schoolwork, so my schoolwork is
Yeah.
all, it's like as soon as I go to bed and then all weekend, so it's crazy. But we're doing it.
Yeah, you are, girl.
We're in it.
And it could be worse.
So true.
Oh my goodness. All right. Well, it's a little early, so you still have time to stretch or you get started with your day. But 7:22. Thank you to you two for joining me. And I hope your hips thank you for this as well.
Oh, they will.
Okay.
Okay,
All right. Bye, ladies.
Bye.